you can order for the end of April shipment, however. But if you want one of the Global Unity pieces, they are $45. I think the boss has already put his name on that one.
Yes.
When you come to my shindig on the 25th. And you're also invited, Chief. You can take a look at my invitation there to my... It's inside the card. That's my photograph, but I'm a little bit...
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Greetings.
Brother Diav.
Yes, I.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well. Welcome, everybody, to Here to Help You. As you can see, well, you can't see it yet, but we have a lovely display, and we're going to talk all about this. I'm very, very excited. But before I do anything, let me introduce everybody. So to my right, my far, I have to check, okay?
Sometimes you do.
I have to do the L. You know the L, teach your kids that. The L makes a laugh. It's an L, okay. So the far right, I have the Don Dave Rankin.
Alongside the Donette, Simone, Jennifer Smith.
Let's get more in frame. There we go. Okay, and
Better
we
now?
have, yes, much better.
Excellent.
And behind the scenes, doing all the hard work and promoting me better than anyone else ever has, Mr. Jordan, big up yourself. And now, you know what, Dave? I'm going to let you do the formal introduction of this young man sitting between us here.
There's nothing formal about me, you know.
The informal introduction.
The informal introduction.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Adisa Oji.
We still don't got a clap button,
But we're
but
going to
it's
do it
okay.
anyways. We're going to do it anyways.
I'm doing this. I'm doing the clap. Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, respect.
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 Welcome.
Yes,
Respect.
yes.
Respect.
I mean it.
Respect.
So, today, the floor is yours. You speak about anything you'd like to speak about. Don't hold back for a minute on anything. Speak your mind. We're going to be talking about all of this. We're going to be talking about some movies. We're going to be talking about some documentaries. We're going to be talking today. So, where would you like to start?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, I'd like to give thanks and praises to the Creator and my beloved ancestors for giving me this opportunity once again to share
Yes.
with my
Yes.
brothers, my sisters, and to the world.
Yes.
And I would be remiss if I didn't also indicate that all this is made possible because family is the greatest thing in the world. My mother is my greatest fan. My brothers and sisters are behind me. And I also give praises and thanks to my wife and children who allow me to travel and every now and then leave them in Africa, in Ghana, where we live, to come to Canada and continue my work as the leader of the African Image Revolution.
Wow, that's very, by the way, very powerful
Yes.
introduction.
Thank you.
Dave, are you going to say that about me in a few years?
In a few years.
Okay.
You know, how about next week? Instead of a few years, let's stop it. Next week.
Just keep talking to Brother
No.
Adisa, okay?
What?
Please. Keep talking to him. Continue, brother. Go ahead.
So, regarding, of course, what we have here on display, you have a business that you have set up. It's your life's work, right? Let's tell the audience, of course, the name of your business, of course, what I believe it is an acronym. It does stand for something, right? And
Of course, it
of
has
course
to
it's-
stand for
yes.
something.
But more importantly, of course, you know what? Of course, let's go ahead and introduce some of your work as well in the process.
I appreciate that. The organization that I belong to is also a business, and it has been in existence since 1987. This business is called MACPRI, otherwise known as Mother Africa's Children Photographic Reproductions International. The acronym also has been defined by others in different ways, very creatively and craftily. Mother Africa's Children Psychological Readjustment Institute is
Wow.
what one of my colleagues named
I like that
MACPRI.
Mm.
And for me, I also define the acronym as Mother Africa's Children First. The prefix pre meaning first. So in all we say and in all we do with MACPRI, we put us, ourselves, Mother Africa's children first.
Beautiful.
And that leads us to a number of the projects and works that I've engaged in over the years. First and foremost, Mother Africa's Children Photographic Reproductions International developed to create positive images taken in Africa and the African diaspora to stimulate an interest among ourselves to know more about ourselves and to love ourselves more. That's MACPRI, the photographic enterprise. Over the years, I noticed that while photography is my love and my means of teaching, it wasn't necessarily going to be a way for me to feed my family and continue to document in the communities around the world I wanted to with my own resources. So a stroke of genius came one time as I was passing through Burkina Faso, and some young fella said to me, "Hey, Brother Oji," of course they spoke in French, and my small French was able to pick it up. He said, "When you're going to Canada, take us with you." I said to him and the others, "I can't take you to Canada with me, you know, but what are some other possibilities we can work on that can make us benefit from you being here and me being in Canada at times?" And it just so happens that most of these young people were artisans, they were craftspeople, they were producers. And we decided, okay, what do you produce that my company can market that can make you and your family some money and also make me and my family some money, and we build from there. And we evolved MACPRI from just a photographic enterprise to a multi-dimensional Africa upliftment business. And it's been powerful.
Yes.
Very, very powerful.
So the upliftment business. Now, explain that. Now, does it just go towards, of course, the images and regarding, of course, the statues, the awards? I mean, does it tap into, of course, the photography, right? I mean, you said before that photography was your first means or first love, right? Now, do you get a chance, of course, to incorporate some of your photographs along your business?
That's a good question. I do have. Now, this is the photography part of the business is very personal and specific and particular to Brother Oji and what Brother Oji does. There is a series of photographs, original images that are called Oji Originals. And my original images framed, nowadays, they go for a pretty significant change.
Yes.
I've built my name and credibility to over the years that when people see and say they want an OG original, they are prepared to pay for it. And I do contribute a significant amount of that money back into the people that I have photographed over the years.
That's awesome.
Now, in terms of the art, now, why I say that the connection was a very powerful one is while I've been on my tours documentary photographing, that I actually met a lot of the young people whose art I now market through my Canada company. So with the art, with the awards, I can actually look at this piece, for example, here. This piece is called A Female Scholar. I can tell you that this piece is produced by a young brother by the name of Tijani, who works and lives in the town of Abri in the eastern region of Ghana. The ebony pieces, which are a little bit more higher in quality and value than the Osese wood, not to take away from the art, these pieces are produced by a team of carvers at the art center in the capital of Ghana. Albert Boama and his team produces these pieces. And when we speak about the connection and taking the work to another level where we can all benefit monetarily. We can feed our families through it. I'm talking about not just a relationship where we have come together to make money. We have come together to actually de-triangulate, so to speak.
Okay.
The triangular trade brought our ancestors to this
the far
part of the
ends.
world
Yes.
to slave on plantations to build up the economy of Europe and people who were not seeing our best interest at heart. So we reconnect, retrace that path back to the motherland and develop alliances and partnerships with young people who are producers, who can give us their goods. We export those goods. We create a source of revenue that can be channeled to projects we do in the Caribbean and channel it back to Africa and back to Canada and round like that. We may have started with the art.
Right.
But we have tours. We have young brothers who are involved in the mining business. We have people who are involved in the construction business. We have people here. Brother Kwame, I won't call his last name at this moment, but
No
Brother
problem.
Kwame has set up a space in a town called Salt Pond in the central region of Ghana. And what he's trying to do to assist the community is help bring in more sanitation to the area. The communities do not have as much public facilities, so he's raising funds to help the community to build public facilities as well. So these are some of the things. So the art and the economic piece is one thing. However, we are expanding and making the connections on other levels as well.
Excellent.
So well versed. Love it. So when we do get back, I want to hear some more. And Dave is not doing his job today and showing the pieces, so I'm going
No
to
way.
take them from his side,
No, you're not.
pull them back here on this side, and show you some more wonderful pieces that Brother Oji has brought back from Ghana. When we come back, we'll hear more from Brother Oji. See everybody soon.
Think you have what it
Welcome back, everyone. So if you are just joining us, again, welcome to Here to Help You on my TCN television network. I will say this before we go any further. I want to thank everybody. The last 2-3 months we've been doing this.
Yes.
We've gotten a lot of support from the community, and we thank you. It allows us to bring in great guests like Brother Oji, who can come here and speak about some of the great things that are happening. We hear a lot of negative in the media, a lot of negative about us on a daily basis. Nothing really good, even when they speak about Africa.
Yes.
Negative. So to hear some of this stuff, it's amazing, and we thank you for always being there and viewing and watching. So on the short break you missed some of the stuff. So I told Brother Oji that he's here to talk about himself. So I'm putting him back on the spot again. We have some questions, but I just want to hear him. I'm learning. So speak, brother, speak. As my I'm going to say elder, but in a nice way. Only because you're older than me.
I have no problems with being referred to as an elder because an elder is not just by age.
No, it's not.
An elder is a matter of not stature. You have to earn the
Your
right
place to be called
an elder. That's the
True.
traditional way of
Yes,
things.
very true.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't become an ancestor either because you die.
No.
That's the next level up in the sequence of ascension in terms of our traditional ways as a people. When somebody transitions, you have to also earn the right to be called an ancestor based on what you have contributed to the betterment of your people and your community and the world while you were alive.
Very true.
Right. That's right. Very
And
powerful.
I do have some very honorable ancestors whose names I call all the time.
What are some names?
For me, Queen Nanny of the Maroons comes to mind as an indomitable fighter who never surrendered and she never signed. I say it again. She never signed. Next to her, my number one teacher, and you can tell by the way I'm attired in my red, black, and green, that the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey guides me in all I say and do. You must always put yourself first. And I like that, my sister, when you say that. It's very, very important for me to talk about myself. I got no problems talking about myself. And I ain't got no problems talking about my people either, because we are one in the same. You and your people have to be the same. When you work for your community, you work for yourself.
Absolutely.
And when you're working for your community, you cannot leave yourself out of that equation.
No, you cannot. Very, very true. Very true. Brother Dave, so Brother Oji, I'll let you know on this show, if you've watched them, I'm more of the clown. I always have something silly to say. Okay? And Dave is the scholarly one. So you see, you notice how he has the paperwork and I don't? Okay.
There's a reason. The only reason that this happened is because, of course, you left yours in the meeting room.
Oh!
I'm unprepared. It's okay. It's okay, because I still got questions. I have some personal ones, too. But we're going to go there in a minute.
Okay.
I'll let you do the
Should
scholarly.
I be scared of the personal question?
Maybe. Listen, I'm not just gonna have you on here and just talk about the surface stuff. We need to go in. So, Brother Dave, how about we deal with all the scholarly stuff, because that stuff is kind of boring, and then we're gonna get to the real juicy stuff.
The really juicy stuff.
Go ahead.
You want to sprinkle them in between? No.
There's a documentary. You're taking too long. So there's a
Go ahead.
documentary. Nanny, you touched that. Talk to us about that documentary, because I did do a little bit of research on you. And I know that's something that you did in July. Yes?
The Queen Nanny documentary released in 2015. Now, let's be clear on this. I'm not the producer of the Queen Nanny documentary.
Okay.
Neither am I the producer of the documentary before that in the series. So the first documentary in the series on the Maroons of Jamaica was A Kwantu the Journey. Second one, Queen Nanny, Legendary Maroon Chieftainess. They are both produced by Roy T. Anderson, co-producer Allison Anderson, and on the Queen Nanny documentary, Professor Harcourt T. Fuller of Georgia State University collaborated with the wife and husband team on the Queen Nanny documentary.
Okay.
My job or role in both documentary, in Africa, I was the liaison for the production company in terms of assisting to set up the interviews and travel details and so forth. But my biggest role in both documentaries, I'm pleased to say, in the first documentary, A Kwantu the Journey, I was the chief stills photographer.
Excellent.
That's very cool.
Second one, I was bumped by a bigger man, you know what I'm saying?
It happens. It happens.
Big DP, big him up. I respect the DP. I was also a photographer, stills photographer with the Queen Nanny documentary. And
Very cool.
I'm not gonna lie, the big man who did the Queen Nanny documentary is none other than my own fleshy and blood, Roy T. Anderson, my mother's
up yourself.
firstborn. My
Big up
mother's
yourself.
firstborn.
Big up,
Big up
big
yourself.
Family together,
I
build
mean,
together.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Now the big news, which I was thinking I would leave it out, but we are presently in the course of producing our third documentary, and this one is entitled Marcus Garvey: The Untold Story.
Ooh.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay, wow. That's going to be very, very big when it does release.
I want
Yes.
screening rights.
You're gonna have to talk to the boss about that.
I want screening. I want to see it first.
we may have a test screening here in Toronto before it releases, and I do understand I am the one that's going to be booking the space and
Oh, I'm
taking care of
stalking
all
you.
of those details. No
I'm
problem.
stalking
No
you.
problem. No
I'll
problem.
find you in Ghana. Like, look, Brother OG.
No comment. No comment.
What's going
Yeah.
on over there? You need to hurry up with that documentary. I need the
Yes.
screening.
So with the Marcus Garvey documentary, we will be having an event in Toronto mid-May. I have to fly back in from Ghana for that as a major fundraiser for the post-production of the documentary.
Excellent.
That's fantastic.
Excellent.
Can you give us any like sneaks? Sorry, Dave.
Go ahead.
I just want to know. I told you I'm gonna go in,
ahead.
so we
Let's
can
find
get
out,
any like.
Like, who are you interviewing?
You know,
Are
yeah,
they-
like what's going on? What about this Marcus Garvey? What is untold? What little sneak peeks
Now,
can you give
now
us?
the reason why I can't say nothing on that is because
Oh.
I am the I'm a stills photographer for the Marcus Garvey documentary. I'm proud to be a stills photographer. I'm not the man or woman behind the big camera.
Okay.
I am a part of the production team, but I'm going to let you know that pretty soon there will be a Facebook page coming out with details on Marcus Garvey: The Untold Story. But if you want to see some of the things that have been going on and get a little bit of a sneak preview, some of that is available on the Queen Nanny Facebook page. So you can check the Queen Nanny Facebook page, and it will tell you some little pieces about the Marcus Garvey documentary, and you can learn about the Queen Nanny documentary as well, which are available online. You can order them, Amazon and all of that stuff. You know, that fancy.
All those fancy things that they have that you can order from. I hear you. I don't use them. I'll just get it from you.
That's also.
Now that I met you, I'm just gonna come to you. Go to the source. Why go through Amazon? Brother Dave, you had a
Sure.
question.
You know what, Aquantu, we had a discussion in the back, and definitely want to go ahead and, of course, make sure you say this now. But regarding this piece here,
Are you
yes,
gonna hold it up? Want me to hold it?
no, I'm going to do it right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's not as good. Okay.
Cool, no?
Okay, now we're going back to the awards and the production of these pieces. You know, I have nothing against China. I have nothing against India. I have nothing against countries around the world that produce and market products to different communities. But I also say we need to also produce and market to our various diaspora African communities as well. We need to produce in Africa and send it around the world, market it around the world to bring some revenue that will support development back to the continent, back to the motherland as well. So I always look for ideas of possible pieces that can be produced. And lo and behold, my senior brother, Roy Anderson, has always been one of my big supporters. So
Wait, Brother Oji, I have to stop you. Because we're out of time for this segment. Yeah. You see, we might get you talking. We have more. We'll be right back with Brother Oji.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So the energy in here is, it's very calm. I have a brother here, an elder here today, because he has not status, stature. How'd I do?
That's cool.
You see?
You
See?
I like that.
And your energy is awesome. I'll say that
Give me
first.
some status too, Give me some money.
And some and some status.
Send the status.
Status and stature, all of them. And the money, it's coming. I always quick segue, never say you're broke. Money is coming. All right. So I cut you off, but we have some more things to talk about. And you don't have to hold anything. I'll hold it up for you. This is my job. You just got to talk. So you're about to go into something, and I'll touch it, and then you can start talking about it.
Ah, yes. That's the Akwantu DVD. That's the first of two Maroon documentaries that was produced by my senior brother. Both documentary he has done is award-winning. Now, I mentioned before we went to break that my senior brother Roy is one of my biggest supporters. I said to him, let's look at some of the pictures that were taken in the Akwantu project and see if we can produce a carving or an award piece that can be used as a souvenir, a memorabilia. You know, a lot of these projects, they got their little things. You go to productions, you go to parties, they got their little things, and they are selling and they are making their extra money along with their projects. So I said, give me some money to produce this. He didn't hesitate. He gave me the startup capital to produce 30 pieces. And I did, and the piece that we produced to go with the Akwantu documentary is this one. And it was based on a photograph taken of Rodney Rose, who has been a bang blower for the Charlestown Maroons for more years than I can even remember right now. And presently, Rodney Rose is the deputy colonel. Two young people, husband and wife.
I love it.
Yes, Marcia. Forgive me if I don't have their full names right now, because we are very personal, and I'm personal with most of the people I work with. I'm on a first name basis. So Marcia is the present colonel of Charlestown, and her husband Rodney is the deputy colonel. So this carving was designed and produced based on a picture of Rodney blowing the abang. And when it came out on the market, it went very quickly. It went and with that, I also say there are a number of other pieces that have been produced based on requests by various business and organizations. For example, the piece on to your left there, Simone, that one is made from ebony wood. Ebony, is the most valued wood in the entire world. It's not necessarily a cheap piece. I don't like the word cheap. It's
Economic.
Not, it's economic.
Not as economic.
But if your budget cannot afford the one in ebony, we can always get a version same size done in Osese wood, which is more cost effective. Is that a good
I
word
like
to
that
use?
one.
Cost effective.
Cost effective.
Now this piece here, you will notice there's a larger figure. We not get there yet. We still up on that one over there.
Work with the thing, girl. Work with the thing.
So this one here, the organization, to see if you can figure out what the name of this piece is when I tell you about the organization. The organization is a very powerful organization, the first of its kind in all of Canada. The acronym is YPF, Young and Potential Fathers. This is an organization that focuses on giving educational training support to young fathers and young potential fathers. So with all of that said, what would you call a piece like that? Simone?
Really? Father and son.
That's not bad.
I tried.
I'm going to go with fatherhood.
You are saying fatherhood because I told you.
You see what I'm saying?
fatherhood.
Hold on. So you...
It's a setup.
That was a setup.
Fix.
That's terrible. Really? All right. It's okay. It's okay, Brother Oji.
Father and son is good too, yes. So we have fatherhood and we have motherhood as well too. And what we're saying is, we look at the C awards. I won't call out the full name of the country at this time. The ones that are made of plastic and metal that are put together. And we said, even though we want our awards to be somewhat similar to what is produced by this group of award producers, we want our awards to also have a unique look.
Absolutely.
A very unique look. And we want our awards to celebrate life. We want our awards to be culturally specific, and we want them to be culturally relevant.
Yes.
And we also want them to tell us something about ourselves.
Yes, a story.
And what we want to accomplish.
Absolutely.
So you have here global unity. If you want to get more specific,
You're not as good.
global unity, focus on Africa.
You're trying to give me back now, right? Focus on Africa.
We have here a female scholar.
I love this one. This one's my favorite. I want it.
We have Chin Chin, which is a symbol from the Adinkra series of symbols that focuses on different aspects of life. And this one praises and honors versatility. And then we go down the line, we have this piece here now. If you want to honor somebody who is a good father, you give them the Fatherhood Award. If you want to honor somebody who
Father
is
and Son
versatile,
Award.
Father and Son Award. If you want to honor somebody who's versatile or who shows versatility, you can give them
awesome.
a versatility award, or honoring their versatility.
I
A
love
female
it.
scholar. And we now have something at the University of Toronto called Black Graduation.
Okay.
I'll be coming for you, my brothers and sisters in the Black Graduation group, eh? A Black Graduation, Black scholars,
Yes, right.
female scholar,
Uh-huh.
male scholar.
All right. I had to put in my extra 2 cents. I'm sorry. I was going with you, brother.
No, but when I say I'm coming for them, I want to applaud the work of what the black graduates. It's very hard for me to say black. I'm an African speaker type of man.
Right.
But I got to respect the name of the group.
Yes.
They are called black graduates.
Okay.
So, they have the regular convocation hall. And what they did is they got funding from UFT, props to UFT, and they had an after convocation gathering for all black students across all the campuses of UFT, and I think maybe some from York or maybe other campuses as well, but it was primarily a UFT thing. And they honored from bachelor's, master's, PhDs. And that place was packed. It was a great and powerful feeling. But you know what I did before I entered? I had my little suitcase, and I had my little cardboard box with my sign on it, and I pitched myself on a bench outside of Hart House. and I put my award pieces on the bench, got off the bench, of course, and I put my box beside it, which says, why not also consider Made in Africa awards? And then this nice lady was passing by, and I said, hello, can I talk to you for a second? Can you help me out with something? I want to do a commercial for my business. Can you film it for me? And then I said, this is Brother Oji reporting live from the black graduation at the University of Toronto, blah, blah, blah. And it was the bomb. The woman was freaking out. And then I went inside because it was the graduates' time. I put all my things away in my luggage, and I sat down and I enjoyed the program.
Yeah.
Respect Professor Akua Benjamin, Wesley Krishlow, and all the peeps that were there from back in the day, and all the young students that I never seen before in my life. Oh, the University of Toronto has changed. Did I say I went to University of Toronto? No, I didn't.
Big up U of T. Okay, got it. Got the shout outs. It's not as good as University of Windsor, but it's okay. Nope. It's all right.
I went there once, yeah.
Wow. So I don't want to go into anything.
No, I'm not dissing the University.
No,
of Windsor.
it's okay. I wasn't taking the diss because I already know University of Windsor produced some great graduates. Me being one of them.
That is true.
You see, so
I agree.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No feelings are not hurt.
And Darren Baptiste as well. Darren Baptiste. Brother D. Power to the people. Power to the people, Brother D. Oh, Brother D was before your time, so you don't know who Darren Baptiste is.
I will
Power
find
to
him.
the people, Brother D. You know what I'm talking about. Your peeps who hear me talking know who I'm talking about. Y'all see now, I'm bigging up Brother D. Peace.
We'll be back on that note. Now I have to go research Brother D. Jeez. Okay. We'll be back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. So, you missed the show. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is the first.
Let me tell you something, Simone. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't want anybody listening to say I just cut Simone off it because they are picking on me.
Oh,
I have never, ever done an interview in my entire life where I have never put my interviewers on their toes. You guys got me laughing and carrying on in this interview here.
But this is what it's supposed to be like. Like, honestly, if we were really like this the whole time, you'd be like, really? I'd be like every other interview. I gotta have fun with this.
That's true.
This is how we get people and capture people's interests. And people just, everyone's talking, Brother OG. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is talking, but not a lot of people are doing. They're just talking,
Yes.
right? So for us, if we can do this and show people, not only are we having a discussion, but the proof is in the pudding. Wow, that was real old school. So I don't know where that was, my dad, sorry. So the proof is right here that you're acting. This is what you're doing. It's happening. These things are happening. Power to the people. I need to go look up this man. What's his name again?
Darren Baptiste.
I have to come find you, sir. Especially because you rep Windsor. Okay, so enough of that now. And you did cut me off, Brother OG, okay? Ow.
I apologize for that.
You have me all banging into my mic and stuff.
I didn't do nothing. I'm sitting over here minding my own business, you know.
So, Brother OG, what I know, I do have a question. How hard is it? And this is going to go a little personal. Tell us, because it's hard. It must be hard work. You were back and forth from Africa to Canada. I would never let Dave do this. I don't care what anyone says. How is it being away from wifey? Yeah, you see, how is that?
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. I feel it for the family more than I feel it for me. My mission is bigger than me, and even though I say this, that my mission is not bigger than my family, but my family is a part of my bigger mission.
Yes.
It has taken my wife a very long time to accept that.
Yeah.
Somehow, you can probably say she has resigned to that, but she kind of appreciates it a little bit better. When the children show how they have excelled, she's a wonderful woman, brilliant, very wise, my wife. The children have been able to benefit from so many different worlds because I was born in Jamaica, I grew up in Canada, I live in Ghana. My wife was born in Ghana, live in Ghana. Now she actually travels back and forth between Ghana and Nigeria for her business. She has been able to build her own house from monies that she has made and that she has received in support of the family. She's an independent woman. Emotionally, honestly, it is extremely difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think of a lot of our great leaders who have made major sacrifices. I think of Harriet Tubman and her treks and having to pick up and leave family to run the Underground Railroad, to scout, lead people to freedom for the sight or the long vision of a better future, of a better tomorrow. I think of some of the statements that Dr. Julius Garvey has made about his father, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He didn't say it in a negative way when he would say that, my father wasn't really there for us. Because Marcus Garvey was all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over.
Building the Universal Negro Improvement Association.
That's right.
But look where Dr. Julius Garvey is today. He's a world-renowned physician. He speaks with honor, and he is honored when he speaks of his father. Me, I say, I know that marriages have their pressure points. So my pressure point in my marriage is my travels. I'm a good man. I'm a good father. I'm a good husband.
I'd like to present you.
You can't present me with my own award. I deal it.
With the Father-Son Award.
The engineer is clapping.
You're a great father, and I want to make sure that you know this, so you get this award from me. This is the Father-Son Award, not to be confused with the Fatherhood Award, okay?
I accept.
Brother Diav, I know you had some questions for him, because you're on the... You have to shake it off, eh? I know. It's a big award, the Father-Son Award, I know. You had some questions, I know, and I know he hit the UNIA, which I know you wanted to talk about. Go ahead, Brother Dave.
I'm no expert on the UNIA. I'm a Garveyite, but I'm no expert on the UNIA.
I understand, no problem. My question, more importantly, is now you've created a model for yourself.
Yes.
Right? Being able to go and travel back home, right? Where now it's been a wish for many people, but yet they've never taken that step to travel back home. Not just to stay and visit for a little while, but you spend parts of the year, if not most of the year, home. How did that first come about in regards to, wanting to go ahead and take that step, right? And B, what's it like to now know that you are going back home on a yearly basis?
Regina, two big questions that you're asking one in a man. You have to cut it up in a story. You understand the part we're coming out now. Anyway, let me delve into the first question.
You have a minute and a half.
She's lying.
Go ahead.
1991 was my first trip back to Ghana. I was shortly after this business with the rum.
Their exhibit.
Yeah, took place. So I needed to go home and free up my mind.
Right.
So at that time, I was doing a lot of studying on the Honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X. And I thought I was very much a junior him. Yeah, I'll see if I can talk a little faster. So I took a trip to Jamaica a couple years before as it led up to that. A lot of people think that the trip to Africa requires a lot of money and a lot of preparation. We'll be preparing until the cows come home. We will not make it. So, a Rastaman said to me in Jamaica, I said, I want to go to I want to go to Africa. I believe I can make it to Africa next year. This is 1990. I'm speaking to him. 1991 I traveled. I said, I believe I can make it to Africa next year. He said, belief is the substance of things hoped for, and you know, the nice Rasta vibe talking, you know? Belief is the substance of things hoped for. Every time you feel like saying the word believe, substitute it with the word no and see what happens. So I said, all right, Shadow. I know I'm going to make it to Africa next year. And I repeated that over and over and over and over and over again during that conversation and after. And do you know, when I went to Africa in 1991, I had only $75 in my pocket. When I reached England, I did not have my visa to get into Africa. So I started to scratch my head. And I had to take a taxi. What you call those big black taxis they have in England? I had to take one of those taxis downtown.
I can't remember.
I tell you that I made it to Africa with $75. I just made it to England. So when I check in. So when I got downtown, most of that money was sapped because I had to take taxi back to the airport. I'm sweating bricks here, knowing that I'm going to Africa without money. When I got to the airport, Sistrin, Madame Gladys Barco had a private car waiting for me. She came herself, and when I got to the house, I ended up staying with the same people, the home of the Honorable Kofi Barco, the same people in the same room that the Honorable Al Haj Malik El Shabazz Malcolm X stayed in.
Speak it.
Wow.
To end this, I just want to say this. First of all, thank you for ending it with this. Your words, everybody. Your words, you have to speak what you want. I've been saying this for years. Speak your mind. I like to thank everyone. Brother Oji, thank you.
My pleasure.
You were fun.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And Brother Dev, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Engineer, thank you very much. Thank you,
big up, big up,
everybody.
big up,
We
big up.
appreciate you. See you next week.
Peace and
Thank
love,
you.
family.
Peace and love.